Fans, joining me now is a new driver to the RUSH Sportsman Modified division, racing around the local Western Pennsylvania area. It is Ben Easler. He's a driver of the Crawford Custom Consulting, Titusville Ford, Russ King Racing, number 02 RUSH Sportsman Modified. Ben Easler. Ben, how are you doing? Welcome here to the pits of Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway ahead of a Saturday night of racing here at Pittsburgh.
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So this is your first interview, which is pretty cool. This is your first season in a big car, but let's start off with how your career started. You got started in go-karts. Talk to me about your karting years, your karting experiences, and maybe like a memorable moment or two that you can remember from racing in karts.
Yeah, we raced karts forever, like 6 years now, still going. On the occasion we'll hit money shows and whatever now. A memorable moment, I was at Slippery Rock because Cooter King gets all of his karting stuff done through Tommy Dawson, kind of like a lease deal, like what we do with Russ. And his old man there, Bandit, he was at the Speedway, and he told me drive it till the door falls off, and I actually ended up getting my door ripped off my heat race, so I thought that was pretty funny. But we've traveled all around New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, running all of these money shows, state races, and everything, so it's pretty interesting.
So you got your start in the karts and then decided now at the age of 14 you want to jump into some of the bigger cars. What led to your decision to want to drive a RUSH Sportsman Modified?
Nothing really, just Russ. I mean, he offered up the lease deal, and really, when you think about it, I mean, it sounds expensive at first, but after you really add in everything, it really was a really good deal, and that's just what the car was, so we went with it.
So explain to me the situation with Russ. From what I understand, it's kind of like a lease deal for the whole year. You decided to take advantage of the whole year lease. Just talk to me, how you got into consideration with the Kings and why you decided to go with that deal overall.
Because of the knowledge and just the equipment, knowing it's good, just because we came into it blind, have no idea what we were doing, so getting to have some help, stuff like that, and all these guys here, it's really helpful.
So talk to me about the first time that you jumped into this car. Talk to me what that experience was like. What track was it at? Russ was probably with you. Talk to me about just how everything went down with that.
Yeah, I was going to Sharon to run some laps, and Russ actually wasn't there.
Okay.
But Cooter King, he was my driving coach, so he was there. JC was there. He hauled the car. He helped out, so that was pretty cool. I probably turned 80 laps and might have came out of the car once or twice. I'd come in the pits, stop for a minute, let everything cool down. I'd just sit in the car, and he'd tell me what he thought I should be doing, where to go. I think at like a halfway point, we took a break. We kind of walked the track. He showed me what he thought, and then just went back at it.
You're in good company, as we were talking about a little bit earlier. You're in cahoots with Tony Tattenhurst and Justin Shea and Chaz Wolbert, and you got a lot of helping hands here. Whenever you show up to a track, and you all kind of pit together too, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, the help, Tony, Justin, Chaz, everybody, just a big help. You ever need anything, anybody's coming over to help. It's the same way I can help anybody else. So it's a big system.
Then talk to me too about what like a normal race night looks like here with this crew as well. You kind of said that Russ kind of helps out most nights whenever the big blocks aren't running. He's here in the pits with you. Rex King Senior's in here too. Talk to me about that. How cool is it to have not only the car owners with you, how often is he with you, and talk to me about what that's like to have him with you here.
So having Russ here, it's kind of like a little bit of a booster because you have that funny side of him where he's always making everybody laugh and you're having a good time. But yeah, it's pretty cool having him. Sometimes Cooter and Bando will show up and they'll kind of hang out, Russ, we kind of get here, we'll unload, get everything ready, and just kind of hang out. We like to have everything ready before we leave for the racetrack, have everything ready at the shop.
So about 75% of the time, Russ is here, but that time that he's not, like tonight, for example, he's out at the Lou Blaney Memorial helping out his dad and his brother and stuff like that. But, it's kind of cool that he lets you guys take the car out and, with the rest of the team and get to go race.
Yeah, my first race, we're at Tyler County, and he went, so that was pretty cool. And then a week later, we're at Sharon. He's like, y'all are on your own. Like, you take the car, you guys figure it out, you guys will be all right. You guys have help with Justin, Chaz, and all these guys, so you guys will be good. That's basically what he said, just kind of sent us off.
So what's it feel, though? Like, whenever he just tells you, go ahead and take the car, what's that feel like? Does that give you a little boost of confidence as well?
Well, now it's just normal, but at the beginning of the year, it was kind of like, maybe he's he has a little bit of trust in me, so that's pretty cool. But now it's kind of just a normal thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is your first season, as we said, in a RUSH Sportsman Modified. You're just kind of getting your toes wet now, trying to get adjusted to everything. What's it like kind of going from karting to these big cars? Now, it's a lot different, right?
Oh, it's a huge difference from the tracks being bigger to the speeds to just the handling-wise. Everything's way different. I mean, karting-wise, to get an idea of how to race, how everything goes on, you know what I mean? But then once you get into these, it's way different. Just learn how to drive and learning the space of the car and how to pass and when you're clear, when you're not, and just all of that.
Ben, thanks again for joining us here on Rappin on Racing. As we kind of talked about earlier, we talked about your karting experience, kind of getting your toes wet and what made you go into racing the RUSH Modifieds. So let's talk about your season so far. You're sitting currently higher up in points, but before the interview, you told me, I don't even know where I'm sitting in points. We're just enjoying the ride.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not a big points racer. I just race to win. That's just kind of my mentality. I mean, you do well in points, great. If not, no harm, no foul. You said I was sitting, what, fourth?
I believe it's fourth.
All right.
So you're just going out to have some fun, and the nice thing is when you're not really focused on racing for points, you can kind of make those decisions while you're racing the car to try to go for the win, you know, and I'm sure that probably helps with your decision making while you're on the track.
Oh, huge. I mean, I've ran karts, I've ran points in karts. It's like sometimes you'll be running third or whatever, and you want to go for the win, but then, you know, if you go for something, you wreck, now you're out of points, and it's like, I don't like doing all that. I just like going for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, you got a lot of season ahead of you. You're going to stick with Russ King Racing for the rest of the year on the lease deal. But then afterwards, you know, maybe sometime down the line, you might focus on maybe trying to take a different approach to racing, maybe a different class. What are you looking to do, you know, long-term in your racing career?
Long-term, super late model is a goal. I've wanted to run a late model since I was wee little. But obviously, going to a super late model right after a 602 crate sportsman mod isn't very realistic. But a crate late model sounds about right. I want to do it at Russ's shop, obviously, because I've enjoyed myself, had good equipment, and really got better as a driver. So that's what I want to do. I don't want to part ways, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin a good relationship, and that's completely understandable. And yeah, you said super late models. Obviously, at the age of 14, you still got time, which is great. You know, you don't have to worry about, you know, trying to jump too fast or anything like that, or running on wasted time or anything. So that's awesome. But also, talk to me about your experience with Rush King Racing, because as we were talking about earlier, you know, that you got the serious end of racing where things can get serious and things can kind of push emotions and stuff like that. But the nice thing about racing with these guys, from what it looks like, is it's a good time as well. It's not just all serious all the time, but there are fun and games here and there.
Oh man, it's always a good time being with Russ in the shop, going somewhere, racing, traveling, just any time. It can be super serious and he'll be laughing about something. It's always great.
Tell me your favorite thing about racing, just in general. What's your favorite thing about it overall?
Competing. I just love competing. I don't come to a racetrack to run second. I'm always trying to compete, get better. I just like the competition part of it.
Talk to me, too, about something off track. Let's talk about, you know, what your hobbies include outside of racing. What do you like to do outside of racing?
I'm a big athlete. Play football, basketball. I lift a lot. Just staying active.
Alrighty, and then, too, the last thing that we want to talk about, too, is we just want to thank sponsors and crew and stuff like that. You know, if you got a girlfriend at home or anything like that, thank the girlfriend. But any sponsors and crew that you want to thank for giving you this opportunity and for allowing you to race here every week.
Oh, yeah, of course. Russ King Racing, Crawford Custom Consulting, Titusville Ford, my old man, my dad over there, my mom, my stepmom, Kevin, just everybody. I appreciate everybody. This means a lot.
Absolutely. Well, there you go, fans. That is our interview today with Ben Easler, driver of the Sportsman Modified, RUSH Sportsman Modified, number 02. Not racing for points necessarily this year, but doing pretty well in the point standings. And we'll see what he can do for the rest of the year, and we'll see what the future holds for this young man's career. So, Ben, thank you very much for your time, and good luck tonight, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.